This is music, and this is another bunch of songs from the Pukebox. Welcome to another episode of Songs from the Pukebox, the worst titled What's Spinning series ever. Pukebox is basically just a pun on jukebox and puke, and the puke part doesn't have to do with any evaluation or assessment of the music. It's really just a dumb reference to the fascination that a lot of extreme metal bands have with vomit. And I do like extreme metal, so it's all just a bad pun. Anyways, this time around, because in these videos I share with you some of the music that I have listened to over the last week, so as to recommend it and talk about it or warn against it perhaps. This time I actually haven't listened to any CDs, but I have some DVDs, actually BluRays, and some vinyl and some cassette tapes. So let's start with the cassette tapes. So I decided to just give this one a couple of listens. Cyanotic Promo 95, an OG demo tape by the Danish melodic death metal band, but not melodeath. It's just death metal that's quite melodic. Cyanotic. And this is great stuff. I think it's very, very original for death metal. I think it might not be to everybody's taste if you are into like really brutal death metal and stuff like that, but I think it's great. I do prefer their previous demo tape though, which is one of my favorite just death metal releases in general, but this one is pretty damn good too. And since I was at it, I decided to listen to Profit Counts by Furious Trauma, which is a demo tape too, which I picked up at the same time as I picked the Cyanotic one up. Now this is thrash metal, and it features Lars Schmidt on vocals. He was for a while he was in Concra, and then he revitalized or revived or whatever Furious Trauma, so they're actually active again. So very, very good thrash metal. This is a little bit technical even, I think. Later on they became more of a groove metal band actually, and now they're back to being a thrash metal band. And I have to pick up their most recent stuff because I've only heard a couple of songs and they're pretty good. But yeah, very nice to listen to this one. Also nice that it actually works because it is a pretty old tape. Okay, now for the Blu-rays. So up first, this one here by Band-Maid. This is the Tokyo Garden Theater live show from it's released in 2023, so it's very, very, very recent. Very minimalistic packaging, as you can see. I'm not going to say too much about this one because I plan to do an entire video on it, but suffice it to say that this was a hell of a show. Very, very good track list. You know, great performance by this excellent hard rock band from Japan. I'll say more about it when I make the entire video on it. And I also, while I was at it, decided to give this one a watch. Nemophila's Revive. It's so nice to finally meet you is what it's called. This is from, I think, the first live show they did after COVID. It's in Line Cube Shibuya. And this is another great show. I mean, great track list, excellent performance, some fantastic guitar work by Hazuki and Saki, both of them. They're a great team of both rhythm and lead guitarists. And Saki has, I love her guitar tone on her solos. It has a bit of a Dave Murray kind of feel to it, which I absolutely dig. Amazing drumming also on here by Murata Tamu. What a great drummer she is. And the bass player, Haraguchi-san, often when you just, watch their kind of stuff they do on YouTube and just, watch them, but don't really watch an entire show. She's a bit in the background, but in this show here, you get to see what a great bass player she actually is. There's even a part where she does some cool, slapping and popping and pulling bass, and she can play with a pick, she can play with a finger, just amazing bass player. And then you have Mayu, amazing vocalist. Her voice is fantastic, and she sounds great here. And remember, it's a live performance. In the encore live, her emotions get to her. She can barely hold it together. She actually can't. She starts crying, so she can barely make it through the song, but she does. But that's a very touching moment. I think she was just so happy finally to get to play live after the horrible pandemic. But this is a great live show. And I'm really happy that I picked this Blu-ray up. The only gripe I have with it is maybe a bit of the camera work in places. There's one song called Night Flight where they do this kind of very simple choreography where they just switch like sides like that. It would have been nice to just have like a zoom out where you see them all just do this. There's another kind of fun thing they do where they do another choreography in the same song where you actually get to see the whole thing. So that's kind of the only gripe I have. If you like Nemophila, I would recommend picking this one up. It's a great show. Yeah. So there you go. Let's turn to the vinyl. I decided to give these, because I ended up listening to 3 of them, Deathrow, a spin. So we start out by Riders of Doom here, which is a pretty aggressive thrash metal album with a really awesome guitar tone. And the songs are fast, they're aggressive, they're thrashy, they're speedy. The vocals are not harsh, but they're certainly not, clean singing per se. They're more like, I guess, thrash metal shouting. And this is a great aggressive thrash metal album. A bit raw in places, but fantastic guitar tone. And I also, of course, listened to Raging Steel, the follow-up. I think this is a lot of people's favorite Deathrow album. Very similar style. The musicianship is perhaps a bit better here. But this is another great speed metal album. And awesome cover artwork as well. My favorite, though, and I think I'm in a minority here, is Deception Ignored, which of course I also listen to, which is very different in style. This is technical thrash metal, even maybe progressive thrash metal. I really like the guitar tone on here too. It has just your maybe late 80s, early 90s thrash metal guitar crunch. The songs are, like I said, technical. You got some weird harmonies there. The structure is, of most of the songs is a bit unusual. You actually get a little bit of just structure wise. You get a little bit of that on here. Not all the songs are, A, B, A, B, C, A, B. But yeah, so this, to me, this is a technical thrash metal album, progressive thrash metal album. So if you like Voivod, if you like Target, if you like Realm and Watchtower and Invocator and stuff like that, I think you might like this one too. Like I said, this is my favorite Deathrow album. That doesn't mean I don't like the other albums. And then up last, Heavy Metal Bulldozer by Metalucifer. I love this album because it's just fun to sing along to. All the songs are called heavy metal something, and it's super gratifying to just sing along to Heavy Metal Bulldozer, Bulldozer, or Heavy Metal Mountain. You got Heavy Metal Wings of Steel is a song title too. Heavy Metal Battle Axe, Heavy Metal Ambition, Heavy Metal Demons, and so on and so forth. And it's just great fun to listen to all of them. Musically, this is very much inspired by the new wave of British heavy metal, and this is one thing I also really like about it, is you have lots of twin guitar harmonies. I'm a sucker for that, and actually also some really nice, just old school heavy metal riffage. So if you like new wave of traditional heavy metal and you don't mind it a bit rougher around the edges, check out Metalucifer. So there you go. That's what I've been listening to this time around and watching. Like I said, I will make an entire video about the Band-Maid Blu-ray. And again, if you like Nemophila and you don't have this one, I recommend checking it out, because it's a great show, great performance. Such a fantastic bunch of musicians we have in this band. Thanks for watching.